Hello everyone and welcome back to JDD TV. I'm your host Josh and today we are talking transfers. That is right, with the World Cup wrapping up, Canada getting some pretty good headlines as well. A lot of their players are looking to take a jump to Europe. I'm excited to talk about it. This is what the World Cup is about for a lot of different players and nations. It's having the opportunity to play at the world's biggest stage and hopefully getting something in as a reward for putting in a good shift. So hopefully you guys are excited for this transfer episode, and if you are, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and let's get into the episode now. Now it's time to give a shout out to the legends over at OneFootball, who are the sponsors for all the World Cup content on the channel. OneFootball will absolutely keep you up to date during the World Cup as you head to the app, search for your favorite national teams like Canada or Germany. Now go give them a follow and watch your homepage get populated with stories that you will care about as they happen. You can also track matches live in the app, check out starting 11s, watch videos from behind the scenes as well as interviews, highlights, and so much more, including the ability to watch full matches directly in the app from around the world. It's truly an incredible app to help you stay up to date with everything going on in the beautiful game. I personally use OneFootball every day to track Canadians playing abroad, and I highly recommend it for all of you watching. So click on the link in the description to download the OneFootball app. It helps creators like myself. Thank you all so much, everyone. Now let's get into the episode. To kick off this transfer special, we are going to first take a look at Alistair Johnston, who was always a player that I believe was going to go to Europe at some point, and apparently this deal was actually figured out even before the World Cup began, and it makes sense because he's done it at club level with Nashville to CF Montreal with Canada. He deserved this move even before the World Cup, and as he said, everyone's excited for him because his phone is just blowing up. But I really like this move. On January 1st, 2023, he will join Celtic on a 5-year deal, and he's basically going in as a replacement to become hopefully the starting right back. He took on the number 2 kit already, so you know, he's definitely probably going to play as a right back, but Alistair Johnston can do a little bit of everything. I mean, if Celtic ever went to a back 3, he can play as an outside right center back, he can play as a wing back, and then they play with that back 4, and that's kind of where I like to see him play. He'll be featuring mainly as a right back. And this type of move is going to be a lot of fun for him because a few different reasons, but the biggest one for me, with no disrespect to Celtic, but this is a bit of a stepping stone club. I think this is a fantastic move for him because the league gives him an opportunity to play at the best, to get that winning mentality, to probably go for silverware just about every single season in terms of the league and the cups within Scotland, probably play in Champions League, if not bare minimum Europa League. It's going to be huge for him. The fan base there is incredible. He's under Ange, which is just one of the managers I'm so excited to see get his hands on this player. He's done incredible things with the Scottish side already. He's done basically turning the Celtic side into that second place team, trying to catch up to Rangers, to just completely overtaking them. He's done his reshirts as well. He's bringing in a lot of Japanese players to kind of get the core of that team. And he knows how to recruit, and I love everything about this deal right now for Alistair Johnston. And there's a chance that he could potentially use this for a couple seasons or so, maybe get some big performances in the Champions League, or just consistently show that, you know, this is a winning Celtic side, and then maybe a Premier League team gives him a look. We don't know, but the main thing is this is a big move to a club that even will be hopefully playing in the Champions League or Europa League. Love everything about this for Alistair Johnston. Well earned, and now we have another Canadian playing in Europe. And it's not just him, man, because the second player we're going to look at is his teammate, CF Montreal midfielder Ismaël Koné. And if it wasn't Alistair Johnston going there first, I would have expected it to be Ismaël Koné. These are two huge deals, and Fabrizio Romano, who has been keeping a very close eye on Koné because, you know, he's just such an exciting player, put out a tweet that said, "Canadian gem Ismaël Koné is set to join Watford. Here we go. It will be a record transfer fee for Montreal." It also talks about that the project basically combines Watford and Udinese. I'll get more into that in a second. As it was reported that Koné also had interest from Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands. However, I really like this move as Watford and Udinese have a rich history of developing young talents. A couple names like Richarlison, Rodrigo de Paul, Bruno Fernandes as well. So there's a lot there for Koné to hopefully learn from and develop from. There's a little bit of skepticism around this though, because I mean, Watford are one of those yo-yo teams that, you know, spend a season in the Premier League, right back down to the Championship. But I think that's the beauty of this kind of deal, because he's going to be joining Watford. He's going to get his first basically look at Europe, basically in the Championship, which is a cutthroat league. Maybe he won't start right away. Maybe he will. They do play with a 3-man midfield, so I think this gives him an opportunity, obviously, because more bodies in the midfield. We want to see Koné play as kind of that 8. I do think there's a good chance that he will get some minutes as well. But if not, These next 6 months are basically for getting used to Europe, seeing what it's like, developing as well, pushing for promotion, and then guess what? If you get there, you're playing in the best league in the world with Watford. Again, a yo-yo club, so I'm not saying it's going to be the most fun next season in the Premier League because there's a chance they could get relegated. But even if they don't get promoted, or even if they do, there's a good chance that Watford will get a ton of money if they get promoted, which means that they'll go out and spend a bunch of money on other players, and then Koné could get loaned out to Udinese. Or they don't get promoted, they stay another season in the Championship, and Koné still gets loaned out to Udinese. And I like this Udinese move for a couple different reasons, but it's the fact that it still gives him the opportunity for the start of next season to play in a top 5 league. And Udinese is a solid club. They're having a pretty decent season so far, but they're usually around that 8th to 12th kind of mark. They play with a 3-man midfield as well, usually playing in a 3-5-2. So both Watford and Udinese play with 3-man midfields, which gives him a better opportunity to start. So I'm very intrigued to see the way that this championship move will look for him, how it will kind of shape up, and then where he could potentially go next season. Because it's either he's playing in the Premier League or in Serie A. I doubt he's going to play another season in the Championship, and if he does go to the Premier League, well then obviously just crushed it with the Championship. But this is an intriguing move because of that Udinese connection, and I personally really want to see him go to Serie A as well. So I know there's skepticism about Watford, but just look at the Udinese link as well. I mean, if he would have just went straight to Udinese, I think a lot of people would be happy as well. This gives him options, and this is a profile of a player that I think has got a very high ceiling. We've seen this rapid rise. This is a player who wasn't even playing professionally a few years ago, and all of a sudden now he's playing for the Canadian national team. He went to the World Cup, played well with the limited minutes that he got, and now he's going to potentially play in a top 5 league at the beginning of the next year and being able to play in the Championship. So huge move, huge honor as well for Ismaël Koné, being able to rock that Maple Leaf and getting this type of move. Absolutely love it. This World Cup, if anything, could hopefully get these type of career paths for these players. Wasn't a success in terms of going to the round of 16, but it could be successful and help shaping what this Canadian team could look like in 2026. And let me know how you think that Koné and, of course, Johnston will do with their new clubs. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode, and if you did, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, friends.